Hello and welcome to another episode of PKM, the backlinking podcast. I actually went and changed the name after getting some feedback. Now it is actually called PKM or backlinking, the PKM podcast, and I changed it both on YouTube and I've changed it on Spotify as well. I've changed the thumbnails and stuff. So thank you everyone for giving feedback, and thank you for the people in my Discord channel. I think it was Mo in my Discord channel which gave me the idea. So thank you so much for that. Now it is changed, and in today's episode we are going to talk about something I actually published on Medium first, and a lot of people seemed to like it, and a lot of people agreed on it and had struggled with the same thing. So I thought that it would be great for an episode of the backlinking podcast, or I think that's what I named it. I tend to forget the name of things. It's been a long couple of days, but it is backlinking the PKM podcast. So I that is a little funny. Let me just get that out of the way first. I remember it if I say the whole thing. So if I say backlinking the PKM podcast, I remember it. But if I just think of the word backlinking, I won't remember it. So that is a little weird. But back to the point, I published this idea or thought on Medium, and a lot of people agreed with it and had felt the same thing or things. So I thought that it would be perfect for an episode like this. So the idea here was that I said that I was so tired of PKM and productivity apps in general. And being someone that reviews productivity applications, I get a lot of productivity applications I use a lot of applications every single week. I test out a lot of applications every single week, and I've been known to change my applications a lot, and I've had struggles with shiny new tool syndrome. And one, I've only been able to stick with one application for a long time, and that is Two's. So that is the only application I've used for a really long time. I've tried My Mind. I really enjoyed the experience, but there was a cap on how much you could save, which really just stresses me out. And I have tried a bunch of different applications, and I went into the year thinking I've decided on my system. This is what I will stick with. My system actually fell apart 1.5 weeks into the year. It did not work, even though I tested it. But like in December, my life felt really different, and I should have known this because December and January in my job and in the things I do are really different. Where December is more like push out content. January feels more like come up with ideas, try to connect different things together, write a bit more, while December is push out YouTube content, push out content at work, because December is sort of it is a vacation in there, so everything gets really hectic, while January is a little slower. I have to spend a lot of time just coming up with new ideas because I've used up a lot of my ideas in December, in late November. So things changed, and I suddenly needed my productivity system and note taking system to do something else than it was doing in December. So all of that testing just fell out. The system just broke down on me quite quickly, which was really annoying because I ended up in this spiral of testing new applications and looking for a new system that actually worked. Again, shiny new tool syndrome is a part of it, because my system before the one I decided on in December actually worked quite well. So I played around with a few different applications to the point where I was just so tired of testing out new applications and trying to create a system that actually worked. So I have gone ahead and I've taken my system down to the minimum. I no longer have things like a read it later application. I just use Twos for my read it later applications. Thankfully, they have a better web clipper now, which was really important because that meant that I could remove a couple of applications I had. So currently there is three applications. So a note-taking app, Two's as like an all-in-one application. My daily driver app is what I call it. And of course, you need a calendar application. Like, if I could, I would remove the calendar application, but it is impossible to live without that calendar application. Like, I need a calendar, and I need a calendar that can consolidate my different calendars into one, because I have four different ones that I use. So I need everything to be like in one place so I can look at them and just figure out, do I have time? Do I not have time? So calendar is an absolute must. My to-do list app is now inside of Tools. I just use Tools for to-dos. I use it for journaling. I use it for a lot of different stuff. And I'm hoping, or actually, I'm pretty sure that this system will last, because shiny new tool syndrome is quite powerful, but being as tired as I was the last couple of weeks, or particularly last week, is much more powerful than shiny new tool syndrome. Like, I had a point where I was thinking that never want to see a note-taking or a productivity application ever again in my life. Like, I don't want to see a productivity app commercial ever again. I don't want to watch another YouTube video. I was just so tired of applications, because I gave myself one rule, which is a wild rule to give yourself, but it actually really helped with getting to the point where I just have to stick with one application. I promised myself that if I ever moved from one application to another, I'm not allowed to use importing and exporting. I actually have to manually move everything. So that is what I've been doing. And like, one of the reasons why this shiny new tool syndrome has never went away from my life, and has always like been a part of my productivity journey, is mainly because it hasn't been that big of an issue. Like, it has been a little annoying changing applications a lot, but it hasn't actually made me less productive at any point. Like, I've done a good job at work. I've published all of the content I was supposed to. I've done all of the work I was supposed to, and this YouTube channel and my Medium blog posts have never like been a huge issue. I've always been able to publish at least 3 to 5 Medium posts each month, and my goal is to publish at least two. While I've published a YouTube video almost every single day. Now I'm going back to around 5 videos each week, 5 to 6 videos each week. So the goal is having 5 each week, but sometimes like there might be a lot happening, since I also cover like productivity news, and I do podcast episodes like this, and sometimes I do episodes where I discuss things happening in the productivity space. Sometimes it might be 6 or 7 YouTube videos. So my point is that there hasn't been an issue with my productivity, so I've been able to change apps without it having like any without it giving me any major problems with the things I'm doing at work, or with my YouTube channel and with my blog and all of the other stuff. So it hasn't been an issue, and therefore it has been just so easy to do it over and over again. Of course, there is one issue, and that is the fact that you lose a lot of notes. I could have spent that time actually looking for new ideas as well, and that is why I've been trying to stick with one application. But the issue hasn't been big enough for me to just do it and to just stick with the application. So that has been one of the issues, and I have currently just changed things up, and I'm at the point where I just can't change applications again. I don't have the energy for it. I won't have the energy for it for a while, and I will stick with these applications for a while now. I have I don't have the energy. I'm tired of like changing applications, which is a good thing. It has felt much better because at one point I was really stressed about it. Like I was at the point where PKM, personal knowledge management, productivity, instead of making me calm and knowing that I have all of my notes somewhere to use, they actually did the opposite. They made me really tired. Didn't want, I didn't I was so annoyed and so tired and so stressed out about it. Like it impacted my life negatively instead of positively, which is why I got into this whole PKM thing in the first place, was because I needed to be able to externalize everything that was happening and be able to rely on like my phone or my computer or my Mac to just be able to find the things I needed when I needed them instead of having to try to remember them. That is why I got into this. And it has been really fun. I, because that is also another point. Like, I struggle to divide the part of this, which is a hobby, and the YouTube channel, and blog posts, and my actual PKM system. It is really hard to divide those things because I will, and I really want to, and I will continue to test out applications. The issue isn't with trying new applications, it isn't with playing around with an application a weekend. That isn't the issue, and having fun with it. The issue is that whenever I try out an application, I end up like finding a feature that is really cool. And it isn't like at the moment where I try out a new application. It often is like weeks later where I'm like a couple of weeks or even months later, I'm like, that feature I tested out a few months ago, that would actually be great right now. So I go ahead and I jump into and try out that application and move everything to that application and start all over. And the point being that like I could be productive in every single application. The application often isn't the problem. The problem lies somewhere else. Often with me being really stressed out and thinking that an application change will fix that issue, but it never does. And like now, I think I've gotten to a point where I've I think I've figured out how to divide those two things, how to divide the YouTube channel, the podcast, all of the things I do, and PKM as a hobby, because I still want to have it as my hobby. This is the thing I find like really fun, and this is the thing I want to do in my spare time. I don't play a lot of video games anymore. I really don't like watching, and I've never liked watching Netflix or series in general. I watch a lot of sports. That is something I really enjoy. And I watch a lot of YouTube and I play around with applications. Like, these are the things I enjoy, and I don't do it to be productive. That isn't the point, because that removes the whole idea of like relaxing in your spare time, which I am a really big fan of. I do it because it is really fun. It is something I really do enjoy. So having to divide those things, I've just had to figure out a way to do that, and I think I have. Mm, And going forward, like, I've made my system a lot easier, and also I've decided that some specific projects need an ad hoc application. Like, I need to have an a an extra application at some points. Like, sometimes I need something like Milanote for a month for a specific project. I can use that for that 1 month. Sometimes I need something like, let's just say, Remnote for a couple of months because I'm studying for something. Then I will go ahead and I will actually add Remnote to my PKM stack for or to my productivity stack for that specific month. The point is that you need to have like one main application. In my case, that will probably be twos, and then you can sometimes whenever you need it, you can add an application for a month for a specific project. That doesn't happen a lot. Like in my case, it happens probably 3 to 4 times a year, where I need a specific application for a specific project. But that is also a new rule I have like implemented, and I am really really happy with. So I think I've figured it out, but at some point I was really tired of switching applications, and I think something good came out of that, that I finally have landed with a few applications, and I'm going to stick with those because I'm just so tired of changing. So something good came out of it, and I'm really happy about that. I'm not as happy with being so tired of PKM, but I will, of course, continue to publish videos. I'm back where I'm no longer stressed out and really tired about things. So in general, I am really happy with how things are going now. But the last week of December, the first few weeks of January, was it was really annoying and I was really tired. So that covers it for today's podcast episode. I really wanted to talk a little bit about being tired of PKM because I think that can happen. But in general, I think that I've started to figure things out. And once I have really figured things out, like when it's been 8, 9, 10 months with the system actually working, I will do a video on what applications I am actually using. But like I see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of influencers, a lot of productivity people making videos almost every, or even blog posts almost every couple of months with the apps they are using. And I've seen comments from people talking about how it feels like they're just changing applications to make another video to gain views. That is not what I'm trying to do, and I'm not sure that is what they are trying to do, but I can only speak for myself. That is not what I'm trying to do. I actually have a real issue with shiny new tool syndrome. So let's see if it works. If it does, I will probably make a video on it. But that covers it for today's video. If you have any questions, or today's podcast, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching.